Singapore. Gotta get up. The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. It's a Thursday, and that's why we have this man with us. He is the CEO and founder at Career Agility International, Adrian Choo. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning, everyone. All our listeners out there. Happy post-May Day.
Yes, that's right.
I have to say, I feel very noir this morning.
Why?
Because I think I rested too much yesterday. Didn't leave the house until, the evening. Just went for dinner.
You're not one of those that can just sit around and do nothing, huh?
I can, no, actually.
Really?
But then it's hard for me to get out of it.
Oh, right, okay.
After that.
Okay.
Right.
Because I was just like stoning yesterday, just watching TV, just kind of like, sleeping. I woke up in the morning at breakfast, and then after that, I went to the gym, went for a swim, and then, went back and slept. And then woke up, watched TV, and then while I was watching TV, I was doing, show prep for this morning.
It sounds like you were
And then
busy, actually.
While I was doing the show prep, I was dozing off again.
Here's a guy that said he did nothing, and he did so much.
You
yes,
did a lot,
you did a lot.
Oh.
You went out for breakfast, you said?
No, I ordered in.
Oh, you ordered in, then you went to the gym?
Yes.
You went swimming.
That's more than That's more than what a lot of other people did.
That sounds like a perfect day for me.
It does.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Perfect day off.
It was at 1 p.m., okay? I was like lying on the sunbed
Perfect.
and jumping into the water and coming back. Look at me.
You can, yeah. Like you
I'm
need
just
more sun,
burnt.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, Adrian. Today you're reviewing a book, which is something besides your own books.
Is it your book?
No, it's not.
his
It's
book.
not. It's
Angel
not.
was saying if you review your own book, then we cannot trust.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Oh, did I say that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You said if
It's
you.
so funny to review your own book. It's like review your own autobiography.
Yeah.
I don't know
Of
why
course,
does it
yeah,
make
yeah.
sense. on
It's
that.
fabulous. You should read all about my life.
But today we're going to talk about this very classic book. I think it's written in about 20 years ago, actually. It's called Influence Without Authority. It's a book by Allan, Cohen and David Bradford. It talks about how do you manage and influence people who are not directly reporting to you. I mean, if someone's reporting to you, you can say, do this or else.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you can't, if they're not reporting to you, either as indirect report or in today's highly matrix organization, you can tell the person to do something and it's just going to say, yeah, but who died and made you boss? Right? So
You're not my boss.
you're not my
Okay.
boss. Yeah.
When I first heard the title, what's the title again?
Influence Without
Without
Authority.
Authority. I was picturing something else, like just a power of authority or a voice of authority.
Yeah.
But I didn't picture it as immediate boss authority. I
Yeah,
didn't think of it
yeah.
like that.
So sometimes you can't. I mean, and in today's context, especially in Singapore, a lot of leadership positions are, or leadership roles are influencing roles which are regional layers. So in other words, it's like there are 16 countries in marketing, and then you are the person who's supposed to roll out new marketing initiatives to harmonize everything's along the same, make sure every company, operating company is doing the same. And so you're parachuting into Thailand, you're parachuting in the Philippines, and telling guys should be doing this. And then the Manila guy's going like, who are you? Who are you to tell me?
That's why that position needs to be filled up by someone charismatic.
Yes, I think you're right.
Because if the person has that kind of charisma, then everyone will go like, okay.
they'll
A bit of a
they'll
charmer as well.
Yeah.
But the problem is not everyone is charismatic.
Exactly.
So today we're going to talk.
Exactly.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about what happens. How do you influence without authority?
Okay, all right. Meantime, here's Jungkook featuring Lato. This is 7 on Kiss 92.
Actually, Adrian, it's quite interesting that you brought that up, how you've got someone regional who's going into a city like Bangkok and saying you should be doing this. Because I know of an instance, and it'll happen with certain brands where, yes, you've got a way to operate, but it cannot be identical throughout. Because Thailand's market is one market,
Changes,
Malaysia's one market, Singapore's one market, Indonesia's a different market. So it can't always work, right?
It can't always work, and you need to localize it. But that's where the challenge happens, you see, when the local guy over there says like, why are you rolling this out? This won't work here in Bangkok, it won't work in Thailand, it may work in Manila, it may work in Singapore, it won't work here.
Yeah.
And then the people start to resist you and push back on you. And then you're trying your best to say, no, but this has worked before, you guys have to try it. Then they don't listen to you and they push back. And the worst thing is this, what we call, when you insist on getting things done your way, and then what happens is what we call organ rejection.
Oh,
Like, you know, if you get a new kidney,
yeah.
Yeah.
after a while, the white blood cells think, hey, wait a minute, this is not our kidney.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
then it starts
They
attacking the
stop-
kidney
yeah.
itself. It's supposed to
Knock
help
on
the
wood,
body.
knock on wood.
Knock on wood, right? Knock on wood. So it's and then the person gets rejected, and in the end, he gets booted out of the organization. And this happens a lot when it's a newly created role, or someone's hired in to make changes, and then after 6 months, he's out. Because
Yeah.
nobody wants to listen to him. So that's why it's very important to know how to influence. And influence is just defined as being able to convince someone else to think or act or do in a way which you would like them to do.
So who should be reading this book?
I think everyone,
Everyone and anyone?
anyone and everyone.
Okay.
Because even selling is influencing without authority, if you think about it, if you're sales.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just telling the person, hey, you know, you got to do this, and you can't tell him,
So what's
buy
the
this.
aim of the book? Is the aim of the book to accept influence without authority?
No,
Or
how
to be able to give influence.
Yeah. So
So if I'm a parent and I always have lots of other people's children at my house, this would be a great book to read because then I can tell them what to do as well. Influence without
Without
authority.
authority.
I'm not their parent, right?
no, even your own kids, my own kids. I think I got authority, but you know, because yeah, you know, yeah, right.
So it's
Yeah.
good
Will it
parenting
help? Will
skills
it help
as well.
in that
I'm
context?
sure, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure it will.
It will,
So,
okay.
So, for instance, one of the first things you need to know is understand their motivations or the people you're talking to.
Okay.
You know, so if you are in a regional role and you're supposed to go in and help the supply chain guys, for instance, across the region, and how do you go in and understand their motivation? I mean, you understand that they want to make things streamlined. They want to have efficiencies. They want to maybe do less or get better output. But if you're coming in and telling them that, okay, these are the 16 forms you got to fill up in order for this to happen, they're not going to be very receptive. They're going to
Receptive
be
to it.
pushing back. And I've seen that happen before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting.
I always feel always make things easy if you want results for yourself. You know, you make things difficult, then, like for example, we talk about taxes,
Oh, yeah.
right? You know how, like, for the longest time in the US, you know, people will evade taxes also because their tax rates are really, really high. But more so
The process.
the tedious
Yeah.
process in which
Yeah.
they have to go
Yes.
through. Here you are having to pay, and yet it's so difficult to go in
And make that payment. Yeah.
you know what I
Calculate
mean?
it. Yeah.
And now they've simplified it, you know, in the States, and they've been getting great reviews and feedback. They actually appreciate the fact that it's easier to fill up their tax forms and stuff like that.
Yeah, because if you have to jump through 10 hoops to
Yeah.
try and get one thing done, like our taxes are so easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's so quickly done, and if you have to do so many more steps, then
Yeah.
people are going to be more resistant to that, right?
Correct. And who suffers? The entire economy.
Yeah,
suffers.
of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So you want everything to run smoothly, and you want
simplify it.
to get the gains and all that. You need to simplify it.
Yeah.
So that's why you need to understand their motivations. So I know of this individual, sales director.
Okay.
Basically, he was brought on board to increase sales of the company, right? And he was getting pushback of all places from supply chain. They were saying, no, because the more you sell, the more work I got to do.
Yeah.
I got to go and
Oh.
provide more, and I got to warehouse more, I got to do everything. So he got very bad pushback from, they say, can you slow down, slow down. In fact, not only the supply chain, the manufacturing was complaining as well, saying, hey, look, you're too good a salesman.
Oh my goodness.
We can't produce enough. Can you slow down? But he said no, because his commission is based on commission number of sales.
Okay.
So there was a big confrontation there, and he re-strategized and he said, okay, look guys, I'm gonna sell now not the high volume items, but the low volume items, but higher margins. So now
Yeah.
usually we sell less, you're gonna make more.
yeah.
And supply chain felt that hey, that's a good idea. We're gonna have to ship fewer products now, but these are the more important, higher yielding products. So he sat down and tried to understand where they were coming from and how they were pushing back. And once you align it, I think, and definitely it means also that you have to be on the ground and start talking to them.
Can you give me his number? I'd love a sales guy that sells too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But you see, I think most salespeople are overachievers.
Overachievers, yeah.
Because I've never understood this, right? I mean, I've had friends who have been in sales for many, many years, and the company we formerly worked in, maybe other companies have this policy as well. they've got a sales team, right? And all the sales personnel have their targets to meet, right?
Yes.
So this year, everyone meets their targets. The following year, the targets are increased. So the more you sell, the more you have to sell. I mean, what
The more
kind
you
of
sell, the
incentive
more
is
you have
that?
to
I
sell.
hope the commissions are good.
Match
stand
up,
by.
right? Yeah.
Kiss 92 traffic.
All right, there's quite a bit going on out there. On the KJE towards the PIE, after the Sungai Tengah exit, look out for an accident that's taking up lane 2 and causing congestion to the Chua Chu Kang Drive exit. Also on the KJE towards the PIE, sorry, I had to scroll the screen. On the KJE towards the PIE at the Woodlands Road entrance, another accident has been reported. And finally, on the ECP towards Changi Airport after the Fort Road exit, look out for a broken down vehicle. Wherever you are today, stay safe.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. Our guest for today is Adrian Choo, CEO and founder at Career Agility International. You can get in touch with him at The Career Strategist on Instagram. I just want to say, last week we were talking about whether or not we want a Friday off and then, or Monday off or Wednesday off,
You like Wednesday?
I don't like
You don't
Wednesday.
like Wednesday?
It just
Really?
kind of breaks the momentum.
Exactly.
Okay,
It does.
okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
no
I
Wednesday.
really wish I could declare today and tomorrow off. Then you have a super long weekend. But
Yeah.
I can't.
Then a 2-day work week. Oh, I love it. We're not even on the 4-day work week.
Yeah. But when's the next public holiday? I think it's
22nd of May.
that's
It's
not-
also in the middle.
She knows.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a Wednesday. I
like-
think it's Hari Raya Haji, is it? Or Vesak Day or something like that.
Or maybe what the government can do is, if the holiday falls on that Wednesday or whatever, just push it.
Move it. Right? So
It
let's,
doesn't matter where.
let's change the
It's like-
religious holidays. Yeah.
It is
Why not?
Vesak Day, the next
It's
holiday.
Vesak
we
Day.
have,
Okay, there you go.
It's a Wednesday.
Sometime,
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a Wednesday.
Push it to, or you can't do that.
Push it. No, you can't.
It's usually
The
based
day
on,
is the day.
These religious holidays are all based on the moon. the
Yes,
moon's position.
exactly.
I'm not going to
The
go
moon
there.
and the sun.
Yeah, you can't move Christmas to
No,
Why not?
no, don't move Christmas.
I say, these days we can do anything we want.
No.
What we should do is we should actually legally recognize the 12 days of Christmas.
Oh
And
my
then have a
goodness,
12-day
I would
holiday.
love that.
That
I
should
would
be
love
fun.
that. You see, something like May Day we can move. Because America has September Day, right?
Yeah, September
so we
Day.
can change that date. Like
We can
yesterday's
change.
date
I mean, I
could be
think it'll be
changed.
exciting.
But not
the
the
government
religious
declares
dates.
where the holidays
No,
are
no,
going to
no,
be.
not the religious
Christmas,
dates.
no longer 25th.
No, we can't change that.
Okay.
That's been since the dawn of time. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to influencing with authority, without authority.
Without authority.
Without authority.
So Glenn was saying something just now very interesting. If you're for salespeople, when you hit a sales target and then congratulations, your target just got raised. Right? So we jokingly refer to that as the performance penalty.
Okay,
When you perform and then you get a penalty involved, it's like, okay, thanks a lot, but here it goes up again.
but if your commission goes up, then it's okay, right?
Then it's okay. Then it's okay. So, but that's the nature of work. So I still remember one of my first jobs I had. By September, the whole team would have hit their annual targets, and the boss would go round about and say, "Okay, guys,
Holiday.
slow down. Don't sell anymore. If you guys sell too much, you're gonna end up next year the target's gonna be raised." So he used to run about in September. And go, "Okay, guys, stop selling. Stop
Oh,
selling."
okay.
So funny. But then once again, as we were talking about this, a lot of times in the work that we do, we have to influence people who are not reporting to us. And one of the first things, as I said, is to understand their motivations and align whatever you're selling to them with whatever you want them to do to their motivations. And how do you understand their motivations?
Exactly.
What about if they have no motivation? It's our motivation. That we want to influence people that are not directly under us, right? That's what you're talking about, right? But we have a motivation to
we
gain
do,
something,
we
you know
do,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And not the what do you call them? The people under you?
Minions?
I have
Subordinates.
something like that.
The medians, yeah.
Your subordinates.
Subordinates, that's the word I was looking for.
subordinates,
Subordinates.
So, I mean, if they're subordinates, they have to listen to you because they are subordinate to you. But if they're not, right,
Directly under you,
that's
yeah.
where the challenge comes in. That's why we have to start thinking about where are they coming from. It's not
Okay.
about us, even though it is about us. But if we want them to do something, it's not about us, it's about them. So we need to figure out what is the... And the best way to do is to get down, talk to them and ask them, why? What are you guys... I want to bounce an idea off you. So we shall do this. And if there's even if there's resistance, why? What's the pushback? And then maybe you can be a better... Make a better plan or strategy. For that inputs might actually be valuable to you.
Yeah. You can always learn from people.
That's true. You can learn a lot from people.
Yeah,
actually.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue to talk to Adrian on The Big Show TV. It's 8:14.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by Putian.
Okay, so once again, we're talking about this book that you have recommended. I assume you've read it.
Yes.
Okay.
I read it a couple of times.
Long
Long time ago.
Okay.
And recently I picked it up. It was really good. In fact, we are running a series of training, corporate training on influence without authority.
Okay.
Yeah, a couple of companies have engaged us, and they are facing the same problem as well because the organization is getting so matrixed. As in, it's no one reports to you. Everyone just does what they kind of do in their own little silo.
So what's your advice for corporates that want to be better in terms of influencing without authority?
I think they need to train the people. Also, in a way, it's also the culture. Some companies have a very top-down culture. You do this because I am the regional head and you listen
I
to
say
me
so.
because I said so. But when you're encountering the Gen Zers or the Gen Y, they are more... They're going to ask why. Why am I doing this for? And so you get bigger pushback as well. Okay. So that's why you need to figure out. And I think one of the second way which you can influence without authority is basically when you build trust and rapport with the people on the ground. That's one thing.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's one thing I always loved doing is when I was in a regional role previously, I loved going to the region and meeting the people that I was supposed to influence. And it's not just meeting the people; it's always after hours, over beers. Just to build a relationship. Because when they know you, they like you, they know where you're coming from. It greases the gears somewhat.
Okay.
I love this. I just Googled influence without authority training. And Harvard Business School pops up with power and influence course that you can take. Apply today and learn how to leverage your power and influence to make a positive impact. That's basically what it's about, right?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Let me
It's
just
all
go and
about-
get...
It's all about influence.
Okay.
Not that I'm falling off to sleep. I need to
Like so many schools have it. INSEAD has it. Presence and influence. Influencing without authority using emotional intelligence under Udemy as well. So there's a lot of places.
Lots of stuff.
And you can use your Skills Future to credit to do this. I still have
interesting.
$1,500.
So
And
do
you
I.
can even go to
Haven't used.
YouTube and
Yeah.
just Google it
Free.
For free.
That's true,
So,
yeah.
And in an abbreviated, condensed version.
I have to say YouTube is fantastic. I mean, like, after a while, I think the streaming platforms like Netflix and Apple and HBO will go to the grave because everything's on YouTube. Movies as well. They've got movies, they've got games, they've got movies that you can rent.
Yeah.
You know, instead of paying a monthly subscription, you just pay for what you want to
Want to
watch.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you're not sucked into 24 hours of TV droning
yeah.
on for white noise and just constantly
In fact,
watching it.
interestingly, people are using YouTube now as a search engine
Yes.
rather
Yep.
than Google.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I use YouTube before I travel to explore places.
Yeah.
You know, to see what it's like.
Ideas
Or get
for
ideas.
places to eat.
Even ideas to create content.
Yeah.
You know, reviews on food, like
Yeah.
you said, or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
say if you're going to Australia, O'Reilly's Rainforest Retreat, like, what is it about?
Yeah,
And you want to
yeah.
watch that. So everything is on YouTube.
So in fact, from what I understand, Google is losing money to YouTube. I mean,
Yeah.
they're the same company,
Yeah.
but they're losing
Yeah.
money. YouTube is getting a bigger share of eyeballs, basically.
Yeah.
Not surprised.
Not surprising.
All the kids are on it as well.
I don't
Like
know.
the Gen Zers are on it.
are they on TikTok more, or?
Shalini and Cheyenne, do you guys watch YouTube a lot?
Yeah.
Are you,
Like
are
more
you guys
than
more on
TikTok? More on TikTok than YouTube. Shalini? YouTube. So that's a balance, yeah.
There's a balance.
Yeah.
But I want to go back to that trust and rapport you were talking about. There are people listening to us right now who are going, so how do I do that? How do I build that trust? How do I build that rapport?
I think it's a lot of it is about getting to know the people, communicating with them, and getting them to know that you're on their side and you're there to help them rather than be an obstacle, an additional layer of bureaucracy, another additional layer of hoops to jump through. So that's why I think it's important to get to know them, spend time with them, talk to them, build that trust. Because trust is not something you get overnight.
And you need patience, right?
A lot of patience.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes you need to identify the decision makers as well. Because these individuals, sometimes you need to talk to their bosses so that the bosses can reiterate that, hey, look, listen to these guys. And one other thing about trust is that you have to be the subject matter expert. I mean, if you're coming in and you're giving stupid ideas, no one's going to listen to you. But if you're coming in as a regional overlay, as a consultant of sorts,
You have to know your stuff.
you got to know your stuff. And if you're coming in and not showing any value at all, you're going to get organ rejection straight away. They're going to say, this guy's a waste of time.
Yeah.
So once again, I know I mentioned it early on. So should these people come in having done their research already on the crew that they're about to face and just go like, okay, I'm going to not inconvenience them. You know what I mean? Because it's always like that, right? If a group is used to a certain way of working and then a person comes in and kind of like changes things up and all that, and it inconveniences people to a certain extent, then that's when there will be organ rejection.
Yeah, and I think inconvenience is one thing, but if it's balanced with a hell of a lot of benefits, because look, this is a one-off pain. You got to reprogram the way you do things.
Right.
But look at the benefits.
Which means it's fair. lah.
It's fair. It's worth the pain. I think it's okay. So once again, it's a selling job. It's a selling job. And well, interestingly, people ask me, what's the single most important skill to have when you're in the working world? And I think it's influence, it's selling. Sales is really important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because even when you're influencing, like my son now, he's taking a course. He's waiting to get into uni. He's taking a course in selling, and my recommendation. And he asked me why. I'm not going to be a salesman when I grow up.
But everyone sells.
But everyone sells.
No matter what you're selling, everyone sells.
Yeah. It's all about influencing, about changing people's minds, identifying who the decision maker is, who is the influencer, who's the buyer, who's the user. So these are very basic sales tactics which they provide you in sales training, which when you are trying to talk to people, even your peers and everything. So it's a useful skill to have, and I think selling is something that it's almost across all industries.
Yeah. There is some form of it.
It's amazing. Imagine if you're that good a salesman, you can sell anything.
Yeah. You should take a course from Jordan Belfort. Wolf of Wall Street.
Sell me this pen.
Sell me this pen. Remember?
Jordan Belfort.
And remember that guy, and he goes, "Do you have a pen?" He goes, "No." He's like, "Yeah." Yeah, because I think he does motivational talks now, and if I'm not wrong, he might
does.
do courses as well on selling.
Okay, going for a traffic update. Stand by.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Well, it looks like the roads are packed out, so please be patient, don't be a tailgater, and do not road hog. But one situation to look out for is on the SLE, heading towards the BKE after the TPE entrance, a vehicle has broken down there. Stay safe wherever you are.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the Big Show and the Big Show TV. It's Glenn Angel and the Flying Dutchman. Our guest is Adrian Choo from Career Agility International.
So I was just reading about Jordan Belfort.
Oh, yeah,
the
I
guy
love
that is in. Is it Belfort
Leonardo?
or Belfort?
I always say Belfort.
Okay.
Jordan Belfort.
In Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Leonardo DiCaprio played him. He does talks and he sells his courses called the Straight Line System. So basically it says that the Straight Line System for sales and persuasion allows virtually any person or company to gain massive wealth, abundance and entrepreneurial success without sacrificing integrity or ethics.
Okay.
But isn't he a bit of a con man?
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah, that's-
He
Yeah,
was,
I think
he
so.
was
Like,
a con man done good.
No one trusts him anymore.
No, you'd be surprised. I think this guy is a
Him-
billionaire
Plus
right now.
Margot Robbie.
Him and
Wait,
No,
Frank.
but
Margot Robbie was not
as
his
a-
actual wife.
as a presenter, as a person who gives talks and stuff like that, he's made a mint.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He never plays to anything but a full house.
The-
No, that's
the
true.
other guy. Since we're on the topic of crooks gone
good.
gone straight.
Yeah.
Frank Abagnale from
Yes.
what's that? Catch Me If
To
You
Catch
Can.
a Tartar.
No,
Catch Me If You Can. Yeah,
Oh
Catch Me
yeah,
If You
I
Can.
remember that movie.
Yeah, he's going on doing consulting work now. So for
Forgery and stuff,
security,
right?
Wasn't that
forgery.
also Leonardo DiCaprio?
It was.
Actually, it was, wasn't it? He's got
My goodness, he plays all.
the roles.
Yeah, actually. Right.
Jordan Belfort's current net worth is $100 to $134 million. So I think he's not doing too badly.
I think so.
Yeah.
He's doing all right, that one.
Wow.
All the money is
So I
stolen.
think actually.
Scammed out of people.
No, but one thing I really like is and it's not for everyone. Sales isn't for everyone. But I always believe that sales is a very good skill to have, because if you can sell, and if you're a good salesperson, you can sell. You can sell almost anything. So if you quit your job, whatever it is you want to sell, you can sell real estate, you can sell insurance, you can sell multi-level marketing, or even you can start your own business. It's like a lot of people tell me, Adrian, I want to be an entrepreneur. What's the first key skill I need?
Sales.
Sales, right? Isn't it, right?
Yeah.
But
it
are
is.
you taught to be a salesman, or are you born to be a salesman?
I think you're taught. You have
Some
to be
people are
trained.
born, yeah?
Some people are born, but they need to figure out the technicalities.
You know, actually, I think you're born with, as I mentioned earlier on, that charisma.
The gift of
Yes,
the gab
the gift-
type
yes,
thing.
gift of the
yeah.
You know what I
gab,
mean?
that's
But
it.
then, in terms of learning how to sell,
Tactics. Yeah.
But some people can't sell, and that's fine. It's
Because they don't have that gift of the gab as well.
Yeah, they just don't like talking to people. Some introverts, they can't sell. But I still think nonetheless it's a really good skill to have no matter what. So
Absolutely.
So that's why if you look at a lot of the very successful people today, like Mark Cuban,
Yeah.
he started out going door to door selling stuff. You know, a lot of the famous entrepreneurs, they started out like Richard Branson. From a young age, they started selling. So that's why it's a grinding and hustling culture. So I think that's why it's one of the more important. They should teach selling in schools.
Actually, it's
That's a good skill
It's a
to-
good skill to have.
Yeah.
It's
in
a really
school.
good skill.
Why
yeah.
don't they?
I don't know. Because they teach math, history, and everything else.
Because the
and
students will be
geography.
trying,
And
students will be trying to sell everything to the teachers.
Maybe they think if they do that, then these people will go out there and there'll be more con men and con women.
that's not trusting in the system, though.
Exactly.
You know, you can't stop people from being that anyway.
That's true.
Yeah.
But there has to be a reason, right? It's
Yeah.
not why not.
Yeah.
It's such a great skill to
My
have.
primary 2 teacher taught me how to sell, and now I'm a con artist.
Okay, Train is next. This is Hey Soul Sister on Kiss 92.
We've got an interesting comment on our Facebook page from Ashley. Ashley asks, does experience and the years in a company work anymore when it comes to exerting influence?
Actually, I think it does because great question. Actually, I think what happens is that if you're in an organization for a very long time, you already have the relationships built up. You already know how the people think, what the company does. So if you're coming in and telling them, hey, maybe perhaps we should do it this way, very often the people go, yeah, okay, there's a certain seniority involved. So I think that helps a lot. If really the challenge lies when you're a new import,
A newbie.
newbie coming in, and with no
Yeah.
credibility, with no track record, no history, then you're in trouble. Or maybe if you're, or like what Ashley said, if you're in an organization for a long time and you're not taken seriously because you're like the clown, or you're like the golden boy favored by the boss just because he likes you, and you've not had a good track record, that could hurt you as well. So I think a lot of times it's about building the credibility. So,
yeah. I remember that takes years to build, and your reputation can be destroyed overnight, right?
Overnight,
so
yeah.
keep that integrity as well.
Yeah, and especially in the consulting field, there's a very old saying that you're only as good as your last project.
Yeah.
So you can have a nice track record, 4 or 5 years, suddenly your last one failed spectacularly.
That's all people will
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
Does
such
is
a
it the
shame.
same in the radio world as
Yes.
I
We
think
always
so.
say that.
I think
You're
for
only as
everyone-
good as your last show.
Yeah. I think for everyone it works the same.
well? And it can,
For every job.
It can derail quite
Yeah.
bad if you...
I mean, No, which is why I don't like the fact that yesterday was a holiday. 'Cause today I feel I can't get going. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like,
Well, it's the
I've got
sluggishness.
2 coffee bags in here now.
Oh,
I just
wow.
feel like I'm a bit sluggish
yeah,
today.
sluggishness from
So
yesterday.
are you a workaholic then?
I'm not a workaholic.
You just love what you're doing.
But I like to be as consistent as possible. You know what I mean? So if I'm
a cadence.
tired,
There's
because
a
I try. I mean, as morning show host, you have to be disciplined.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, I have a wider window than for example Angel, who needs to go to bed at a certain time.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me, not a problem. I can sleep at 2 a.m., 3 a.m. When I come in the morning, I'm still full of energy. I can play golf.
I don't know how he does it.
Yeah.
But yesterday, I don't know why. It's like I think I was
It
just
broke that wheel in motion.
yeah.
Let
it
me ask
did.
you a question. Have you recovered from your Australia?
Yeah.
I actually recovered quite fast.
I recovered over a couple of days, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe about 3-4 days for me.
But once again, I mean, I think different strokes for different folks, right? Like we've got like Shalini, who took a bit longer as well.
Yeah,
you know.
she was working extra hard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we came back, I think all of us felt like we were coming down
with a
something.
fever. It's like all of us felt like we were going to get sick.
Maybe we were very dehydrated.
I drank tons of water. I don't think that was it. I think we were just tired and travel. No matter even if you travel like to KL, it's still tiring.
It's still tiring.
because of the whole process.
I think what you guys are not taking into account is you traveled, you saw many places, and you had a great time. But the stress you had on yourselves was 3 times what you would have normally in the studio.
Yeah, because this is comfort region, right?
No,
Yeah.
I think
No, definitely. I think you're not giving.
we
it
weren't
just praying the technical stuff would
That's
work.
all. Yeah.
I think Shalini and Ash, as in Ashikin and Bryant and Andre, I think they were under a lot more stress than Angel, myself, and Daphne. I mean, it was hard, but then these guys did a fantastic
phenomenal
job.
job,
They did.
We were less stressful. I was just, we were just focused on
The show.
on what we needed to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
But yeah, they were stressed because of the technical aspects.
aspects.
But for me, personally, I think for myself, when I was much younger, early in my career, I would travel to the US, whatever, for business, come back just 1 or 2 days to recover. I remember pre-COVID 2019, I was traveling to the US. I came back, it took me 1 whole week to recover from the jet lag.
Oh,
You're older.
I think
Because
so.
you're
older,
That
And coming back for some reason is always harder. Coming back to
Why?
the east than traveling to the west is
that's
always
what they
harder.
say.
I don't know. I think we're going forward, maybe.
we should ask an American who's coming here whether it's just a going home thing.
Whether
after
it's
a
harder
long-
for them going back. Maybe
don't
that
know.
is. But I always feel coming back is harder than going. Like the
Yeah.
jet lag.
maybe
Yeah.
this time was also because I'm not used to flying economy.
This could be it. And he was in the middle. And he was in the middle seat both times.
That was okay because I ended up making some
Still.
friends. I mean, we were just like talking, right? But yeah, I mean,
It's
I think you get used
it's
to
a change,
something.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
My bum was aching.
Oh my gosh, my bum was aching like 30 minutes in, man. It's just like, for some reason, the flights were really uncomfortable for me. I don't know what it was. Yeah. So how are you going to do it again?
What?
Economy.
Fly economy.
Cattle class to Australia.
Not. I mean, you're talking about a work trip.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's a
work
work
trip.
trip, that's fine. Because I mean, I'm not paying for the
That's true.
ticket anyway.
That's true.
Right? It'll be quite stupid if I upgrade.
Maybe
and,
we need
and
to-
pay like $7,000.
Maybe we need to
Yeah.
influence with authority there. How about that?
There's an idea.
It's okay. We still had a good time.
We
It's,
did. We had a great
We had a
time, yeah.
fantastic time.
So the next round, you have to tell the sponsors that look, business class or not at all.
No, I will never say that. Never.
No, we're not so demanding, but it would be nice if we were
It would be
upgraded.
nice.
Yeah.
So
It's okay. We survived.
Okay.
All right. What next when it comes to influencing without authority?
I think if you want people to do the things that you want them to do, you have to communicate clearly. And communicating clearly means that you have to be very succinct, not around. So I was just telling Yan the other day that I had this client who was complaining to me that he was trying to influence his boss. And of course, you got no authority with your boss, even. So influencing without authority also means how do I change my boss's mind?
Yeah.
And he said, my boss doesn't listen to me at all. I tell him he just shuts off, he doesn't listen to me. Yeah, so I asked him, why, He started explaining to me in the next 8 minutes, he was all over the place, explaining this and that and everything. And I said, now I know why your boss is not listening to you. You're not communicating clearly. You're just going all over the place.
No direction.
No direction, very poor communication skills. Just so I said, look, you have to summarize. You have to be very clear on what you want. Give clear instructions, what needs to be done, by which date, and why you need to do it. And I think that just clarity of communication can help a lot. Sometimes you don't understand, especially if you are communicating with non-English speakers.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're going to Bangkok, if you're going to Manila's okay, they all speak English. But if you're going to Myanmar or Cambodia or some other place,
Yeah. No, I feel like what you said about having a good sales skill set is important. But now that you've mentioned it, I think communication skills are important as well.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean? Communication
important.
and skills.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
if you cannot communicate what you want to sell, then how is that going to work out? Do you know
Yes,
what I mean? I
yes.
mean, you have the tactics,
Yes.
but if you don't know how to put it down in words,
Yeah, that's
then
right.
there's no point having that skill,
it's
right?
failure to launch already, right?
Yeah,
No, it's
exactly.
shocking. I mean, let's talk about communication skills
Okay.
and the lack thereof.
Kiss 92 traffic.
If you're on the BKE heading towards the PIE right after the Bukit Panjang Road exit, look out for an accident situation there. And on the AYE towards the MCE right before the CTE exit, a vehicle has broken down. Stay safe wherever you are.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We've been speaking to Adrian Choo from Career Agility International, and we were talking about communication skills. And I just want to say, it's shocking sometimes, the number of people who are in influential positions, but have really awful communication skills. Don't you think communication skills should be the most important thing?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you talk
right.
about people in positions of power.
Yeah, because when you say influence without authority, that is putting yourself into a position of influence,
Yes.
right? Without actually having that position
Yes.
given to you.
Yes.
But if you learn how to influence, you also need to learn how to communicate that influence, right?
Yes.
Which
And if
is
you-
equally important.
And if you can't communicate, you can't influence. So they're both
Exactly. They've come together,
self-supporting, yeah.
right?
And I think schools should also focus on that.
Communication
I think
skills,
some
yeah.
some of the schools do. I'm going to be a bit biased here. I'm going to get flagged for this, but I've seen the GCE O level versus A level versus the IB programs, the International Baccalaureate programs.
Yep.
I think the IB programs, a lot of it is focused a lot more on communications. In that they got more presentations, they got more thinking, kind of stuff. There's a different format.
Yeah.
So I always feel that some schools do it better than others. Some programs do it better than others. When I was in university in NUS, I noticed about 90% of it's a very Singaporean thing in the lecture theatre. Nobody asks questions. Nobody.
Yeah.
It's just the lecturer will get. Anyone has any comments?
Yeah.
Stone silence.
You wonder whether is it because everyone wants to go back, and
That's
that's the
right,
reason
yeah.
why they're not asking questions, or is it because they're just like, oh, okay,
It's a very
I got
Asian
it.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, I got
You
everything.
understand?
I have no
I understand
question.
everything comprehend
Yeah.
it. But I think a lot of times they're just not tuned to asking questions or challenging or the ideas.
Because it seems like they're challenging authority because there's a lecturer in front of them.
yeah, teachers always right kind of mentality.
No, but it's the same thing for when we host events as well. You
Oh,
ask
yeah, yeah.
anyone to take part, nobody takes part. You know what I mean? I think it's the crowd, the Singapore crowd.
It's a culture.
It's the culture,
thing.
yeah.
It's an Asian thing, I believe.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't step up. So I think communication skills are very important, no matter what. So I think sales, communication, these are all the soft skills. Schools should really promote and push.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
but
should.
it's very different culture, I think. Just like I don't like it when people ask me too many questions.
Yes. Okay.
Why?
The other day,
Why?
I don't know. I'm like, you guys, stop asking me so many questions. But I think in schools it should be okay. Like if you,
It should be
at a
encouraged.
lecture, it should be encouraged.
It should be. There are no stupid questions. Because to that one person, unless they're playing the fool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because to that one person, it's maximum intelligence, minimum knowledge.
Yeah, correct.
You know, you are very, very smart, but you just don't have that piece of knowledge.
There are no stupid
There are no
questions.
stupid questions
And yet
at
there
all.
are.
Like anybody, when after you've had a haircut, hey, you had a haircut? Oh, well.
Yeah, okay. That's one of those stupid
Or
questions.
while you're having lunch, oh, are you eating?
Yeah.
You're like, no, I'm not.
You're coming out of the lift, going home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue this conversation on the Big Show TV. Love featuring Troy Sivan are next. I'm So Tired on Kiss 92.
We talk about building trust and rapport and communications. Joel has come across and said, want people to trust you? People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Absolutely.
Oh, I like that,
is
Joel.
very
Joel.
good.
Yes.
That is very good.
Absolutely true, Joel. And I think it works, and that's a universal thing. It's not about how much you know, right? It's if I don't like you, and I'm going to actively resist you, so it's not going to happen. Even in job interviews,
You're
as
never
well.
going to trust a person anyway.
Yeah, you're not gonna. We always, Yen and I always say that the interview process for a job interview, a lot of times it's a beauty contest about who likes you, whether or not they like the party more. You have 4 equally qualified people. They will pick the one who's most likable.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
unfairly so.
Yeah.
And sometimes
It
even
is
if
what
it's-
it is.
And sometimes even if it's not the person is not the most skilled, but you like the person, you trust the person
Yeah.
enough to do it, he'll get the job.
Yeah.
And or in the organization, like a promotion itself, it's not always the top performer that gets promoted.
Correct.
It's the most sometimes the most likable.
The most
one.
likable one, the most
especially with
trustworthy one.
The one with the most trustworthy face.
Yeah, that's true also. Sometimes it's the face, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's the prettiest, the most good looking, whatever it is.
It's also
Yeah.
about communication skills. Sometimes it's someone with less educational qualifications, but they come across as having a lot more potential.
Yeah, a fast learner.
And they communicate that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's another thing that interviewers look for.
And you know what? I actually, when I said hunting, right? One of the things that really pissed me off is when the interviewee comes across, the candidate comes across as a know-it-all.
Oh,
I know everything.
smart Alec.
Smart ass, yeah.
cannot.
And I'm going to be very cheeky here. One of the major turn-offs for me when I see a CV is when the guy puts his IQ number on the...
No.
No, they don't put that IQ on
They
TV.
do- I've seen- I've seen-
Oh
I've seen.
my gosh.
IQ.
I don't even know what my IQ is.
130, 140, bracket Mensa tested.
Wow.
Counting, it's like,
Oh.
okay, that's the first signal to me. This guy's a smarty pants.
Yeah.
He's so insecure in this one.
So insecure. That's what I feel.
Yeah.
Insecurity. I want to do my IQ test. I've
Yeah,
never
do
done
it.
it. Yeah. There are.
Actually, no, I don't want to.
You don't want to feel stupid?
I don't want to take it because I'm afraid
Don't
mine will be
say
single digit.
No. I don't
I'd
even,
rather not know.
I don't even know what a good number is. You know what I mean? Like where
Okay. Well, generally 100 is average.
100 is
Because
average.
it's based on average. So
Okay.
IQ is basically your supposedly your mental age over your chronological age.
Okay.
Okay, so if you're a 10-year-old, you think like a 15-year-old.
Yeah.
You're 150.
okay.
150.
Okay.
So anything about 100 to 120 is above average. Interestingly, Singaporeans in the regional test, they found Singaporeans one of the highest, 105 on average.
On
I see.
average.
On average.
Wow.
But if you're 120 to 140, you're considered good already.
Okay.
If you're 140 and above, you're considered like the top
Genius.
2%.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Now I want to jump on that. I
really
just
wanna
want
do
to yeah, for sure, just to see.
Right? Just
And
for
then-
the-
And, why not? And then it's like 99 or something.
25.
Gee, thanks. You have so
negative 4.
you have so little faith.
So it's one of those fun things you can do. But the cautionary tale about IQ test is that it is really inaccurate.
It's
Unless-
really inaccurate.
Inaccurate.
Okay.
Unless you sit down with a psychologist to do what's called a Stanford Binet test, SB5 test, which is what they give kids.
Ooh,
to do.
Dr.
Yeah.
Jerry next Tuesday.
They say you can ask her for IQ,
Jerry, I
IQ
book
test
you,
questions.
Jerry.
Yeah.
What's it called? What's it called?
Surely
It's
you
called
can.
the SB, Stanford Binet test, BINET.
SB test.
I'm sure for this
SB5.
one you can.
That's more for kids.
Oh.
More for kids.
Who
You
will
can
pass
be with
that
me,
level?
right, Jerry?
I don't know.
You may
Let's
not.
find out.
You
I
may
hope
not.
so.
He said we may not pass it. It's for children.
No, I mean,
Oh, is
it's not. It's it's scaled for younger. I mean, it's okay. So right now I'm 52, right? So if I have a 1.5 IQ, means what? Have the knowledge of an 75, 80-year-old. May not be a good
Wait,
thing.
you say 1.5? What do you mean?
What do you mean
1.5
1.5?
IQ? Just
No, 150. 150
right,
is
okay.
1.5 times, right?
Okay.
So I think it works for kids. But because I've done a lot of research on IQ for kids, because it's one of my passion areas. And interestingly, IQ is worthless beyond 21.
Oh, okay.
EQ, what you want
yes,
is EQ,
correct,
right?
correct. IQ is important, but your EQ is a lot more important. So IQ is great when you're studying for exams and everything, you get good grades, but beyond that, I think EQ, and that's why when I see someone who puts his IQ number on his CV,
It says the average
Is that
IQ
EQ test?
EQ, I don't. That should be. They're all tests online. The average IQ in Singapore is 108.
Oh,
hey,
wow.
whoa, it's gone up.
108.
Whoa.
In fact, I'm on this website. It says 10,333 users completed the test today in Singapore. Everyone wants to
What
find
kind
out.
of questions, though, do they ask?
It depends on what test.
Oh,
IQ
so
test?
so see, they do things like shapes, which one is
Yeah.
missing,
Yeah.
choose an answer. and
Also,
stuff
not like general knowledge questions.
No,
I'm sure there's
it's
some there as well.
It's pattern recognition. The Raven
Oh.
test. The Raven test two-dimensional pattern recognition.
Okay.
The caliper test, which is another assessment tool which HR uses.
Yeah.
Test logic, mathematics.
Right.
Some test language.
It's actually quite easy.
Well, this is only the first one, and then they give you only 20 minutes for 22 questions. So I'm going to go
What
back.
test is that?
It's just a shape test, like which shape is missing out of this pie chart.
And you
kind
know
of
what's the
thing.
best thing? If you go on YouTube and you can see how to hack it.
Oh no! What's the
Hack
point
it,
of
hack it.
hacking?
Because okay, I'm going to be very cheeky
That's
here.
cheating,
I'm going to be
yeah.
very cheeky here because some I'm going to get flagged for this as well. Some people before they go for interview, right? Or they go after interview before the offer or before they want to consider you for the role, right? They want to give you a IQ test
Okay.
to see how smart you are,
Yeah.
or how stupid you
But
are.
you don't know what the IQ test is
You can
going
ask
to
them.
be.
You can ask them what's this test, and then they say it's the caliper test or Raven test.
Right.
You can just type on Google, how do I hack? How do I?
How do I
you
pass
can
the
practice run
Raven
a few
test?
times.
Yeah.
And you
Okay.
see-
There are many things you can cheat.
Once
no
again,
problem.
YouTube.
But IQ test, golf handicap, better
Oh,
don't.
golf.
Yeah.
Because then
And you-
people will be watching you.
And
you
you're
know?
only fooling
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah. Red
Correct,
card.
correct. When you go out there, you're low
Just
golf
cut him off, it's
handicap,
okay,
and then
just
after
switch him
that,
off.
it's like,
Don't wanna dance alone.
all right, Preston Pablo, Dance Alone, right here on Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place. It's Glenn Angel and the Flying Dutchman with our special guest, Adrian Choo from Career Agility International. We're just insulting some people.
The people who cheat.
on IQ tests.
Yeah. Why would you? Why would you?
So silly, like, wow, very high IQ. And then after that, when we meet you in person, so stupid.
Actually, that's true.
It's like what our teachers used to say and our parents used to say. If you lie, you're only lying to yourself.
That's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
If you cheat on anything, and nobody got it when they were kids, right? But now when you think about it, of course, because if you meet someone in person, you say your IQ is 150, and you actually meet that person and you're not that smart, people are gonna
Yeah,
have
you can-
that judgment about you. You know?
So I know this individual who was cramming for one of the interviews for digital marketing, and she memorized all the answers and everything, and she came across the interview so fantastically well. She got the job, but within 3 months she was out because you
Couldn't hack
In
it.
person.
you couldn't do it. You couldn't hack it in person. So no point. Like the same if you fudge your handicap and then suddenly you're in a flight with all
Exactly.
the single-digit guys. right?
Yeah.
Precisely, right? They're like, are you sure? No. Immediately, when we play with someone, we'll know
Yeah.
if the person is like,
What they say they are.
bull crapping there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Do we,
handicap.
have you come across people who have lied about their hand?
Many.
Really?
It's like, "Ah, I'm a
Really?
single handicapper. And then when we play, no, you're not a single handicapper.
But do-
You're
that
slightly
day.
better than me,
Yeah.
but you're not a single handicapper.
So do they drop just like a couple of points, or do they? Is it quite a distance between that
Quite a
real
distance.
handicap?
Like I've played with someone who claimed to be a 3 handicap.
Wow.
As in
Wow.
a 3 handicap.
Wow.
But played like he was maybe 16 handicap.
Oh no, that's, a big
that's a stretch.
difference.
That's huge.
That's
or
a big
14 handicap.
Wow. I mean, if you want to lie, just lie small, right? Don't lie so
lie
big.
backwards.
Much
and say that
better when you say you are high handicap.
And then you do
And
well.
then you go, oh, but then again, you'll get you get flack from them as well. They go like, oh, so you are a bit of a
hustler.
Hustler.
Trying to- yeah,
Hustler.
trying to hustle.
correct,
Yeah.
because everyone gives you strokes based on your handicap. You see.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So don't lie. I think that's the
Yeah.
motto of the show today.
Yeah, don't lie.
lie.
Yeah,
Don't
I
lie.
guess if you're going to try and influence people, you just need to be honest. You need to be genuine.
You need to be authentic. Yeah,
Authentic,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's important because people can smell BS a mile away, right?
Yeah, they
Absolutely.
can.
Absolutely.
True.
Correct.
True.
Anyway, thank you very much, Adrian, for being with us today.
Pleasure's all mine, and have a wonderful weekend ahead to all listeners. It's gonna be. I hope it's not too hot though. It's crazy.
Oh, I
is
hope the sun is
ridiculous.
shining in Bali for me all day.
All day.
Because I'm going to Bali
It
tomorrow.
will
so-
surely
Take all this heat and
In
send it to Bali.
Yeah, it'll be a beautiful weekend for
Thank
Angel
you.
in Bali.
And it'll be a beautiful weekend for you as well because it's golf. Live Golf is on. Sevens
Oh,
are on.
right,
The
yeah.
HSBC Sevens, man. I
Yeah.
can't wait for that.
There you go.
on
So
Saturday.
everything. So many sporting events this weekend.
Yeah, many. I feel like too many.
No. It's
Too
not too
many, in the same weekend. It's tough.
It's good for the scene.
Okay. All right. Once again, thanks, Adrian. All right. The Black Eyed Peas are next. This is Pump It on Kiss 92.